What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. We're going over a final variation of Brand Despia. This is going to be post-ban list as well as with all the new cards. I don't know if my list has changed much from the previous list I ended up posting on the channel. The side deck is going to be changed. It's just side deck I'm going to be taking to locals. I kind of finalized the side deck prior to Alan being released. I know it's going to be sneak peek this weekend or the following weekend for you guys with the set coming out. But this is going to be the kind of, nothing really changes with this deck pre-post Alliance Insight. So that's why I'm kind of just doing the deck profile now. It's going to be a little bit while before you guys see more branded content from deck profile wise from me. But yeah, before we dive in, over like, comment, subscribe, helps channel a lot. We're on the road to 10K support. And yeah, let's just dive on in. So we are playing the 3 copies of Aluber. We have one of the alt art. I picked up one of the alt arts of each of the cards. I think that they're absolutely incredible. I don't think that they can necessarily replace. This one obviously is my favorite one. It does seem better than the OG Aluber, but I'm not going to replace OG Aluber with this card. A lot of times people don't even know which one you're summoning with this, so it's kind of important. But yeah, obviously we're playing 3 of these. We're still playing 3 copies of Albaz. We're playing 2 copies of Cartesia and the 2 copies of Quem. Unfortunately, she didn't get a reprint. I guess I'm just saying. Unfortunately, she did not get an alt art. She did get a reprint as well as a QCR, but everything else is going to kind of be Starlight, so we're not really going to replace her with anything else. But it is really nice for anyone who wants to play pure budget or medium rarity there. But yeah, I mean, we really need a Quem Fusion in the next set. I think that's going to be absolutely mandatory for us to kind of continue playing this at the level it is. We need to have Fusion Deployment to be a little tiny bit better. Be able to play with those. It would open up a bunch of combos, which is important as well. If we had a Quem Fusion, like I've mentioned prior so many times, a lot of 2 cards to hands would just become absolutely broken. So that's going to be pretty nice. If you have these 2 in this and a Fusion Deployment, you're really kind of forced to go into Granganol or your Albaz lines. Well, if you have this in your deck being able to be summoned out off Fusion Deployment, there's so many different lines. How many times have you can normal summon Cartesia, dump or Quem, dump the Albaz for summon Cartesia, use another card in the hand with it, to be able to go up, go your combo, bring back out. You have so many different lines with this access. It just feels so nice to have another summon out copy. Yeah, obviously the Fusion should be a little bit good as well. I don't know what the effect would be, but just having the availability to do it would be quite nice. And then we are playing, of course, the triple copies of Albion the Shrouded Dragon. Obviously, we wanted to have max consistency. The 1 Spring, the 1 Ad Libitum, the 1 Tragedy, and then the 3 Bestials alongside the 1 Lubellion, and then, of course, the 1 Mercurier. So this is kind of it for the branded sharing package. I guess I'll just explain to you guys. We're playing Ad Libitum still because this card's honestly just crazy. I really like it post the ban list. I think that it was really good prior, and I know that there was a player who was playing it before, which we copied his list and ended up taking it to a locals and seeing how it resulted. And what it actually ends up resulting in is that I actually love this card again. It makes me feel like we are enough of a slower format. I know that post Alliance Insight, Mouse is getting a really big boost, and the format can definitely change that way with the speed of the format, but Ad Libitum in hand really never hurt. I felt a lot of times being able to bring back the Mirror Jade that's banished. You can also change your branded and red targets using going for a Guardian Chimera, banishing the Ad Libitum and the Mirror Jade. Ad Libitum can then bring back out that Mirror Jade that is banished, or the Granganol that is banished. So you still have the ability to banish it off its own effect. Just open up a bunch of different lines, and Guardian Chimera is obviously a crazy card. It also the secondary effect you have polymerization. You can use that instead, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, we're playing a heavier Abyssal account because we're also seeing that Fiendsmith is going to be kind of live, and Spriggan's kit is due because the fact that we are still only able to play 1 Brand of Fusion. Come on, Konami, why did you not give this back to 2? But yeah, being able to search from the banishment is quite nice. And of course, the 1 Mercurier and the 1 Tragedy, because we're not playing the Allures, therefore we're not playing multiple copies. We are still playing the 1 copy of Ido, because why not lock if we can lock? You can also play the DD if you want to, but I think Ido is just the better option right now. Then we are playing a couple hand traps. We're playing the triple copies of Full Roast, triple copies of Nibiru, of Joel and Lockbird. You can play Nib if you want to. Joel's just so good this format that having the ability to shut off a combo, you need to play these high impact hand traps, or else you're not going to stand a chance. So that's why we're playing these 2. I don't think that there's anything wrong with that. I think it's absolutely incredible. And then for other, we are playing the 1 Branded Fusion because we only play 1 of it. The 3 copies are Branded Opening, double copies of High Spirits, double copies of Branded in Red, the 1 Lost. So this is going to be our branded package for spells. We are playing the double red instead of the one red, one white. I prefer double and red. I think that I just honestly love this card. Being able to use it during your hand turn 0. If you have to like dodge an imperm or something like that, and then also being able to reset it during the end phase because you have another copy in deck feels absolutely incredible. Branded opening obviously is an amazing card, and yeah. High Spirits, you can play 3 if you want to. We're just playing 2 right now because I had found myself when I was playing 3, ended up breaking on a little bit. So 2 felt like the perfect ratio. You can dump it when you need to, always add it back. Which is always kind of free. It's a really nice add back target, which people just don't realize. You can have like free discards off Albaz pretty much every single turn. Then we are playing the triple copies of the branded deployment. Summon out Albaz or Cartesia from the deck. Absolutely busted. We all know how this goes. Triple copies of Thrust. They took away our talent, so we're playing 3 Thrusts. 1 talents. Triple copies of Super Poly. This can be part of kind of like our board breaker package. There's not really much else to say, I have thought about wanting to main droplets, but I opted to play Super Poly instead because it does feel with a lot of the board right now. We have like a lot of Malice floating around our locals as well as Ryziel. Like, you can just summon out a guy and then Super Poly it out if they try to hand trap you, or Super Poly their field as well, which is pretty nice. But yeah, we all kind of know how Super Poly goes. It's really good when the format's good. It's really format dependent, really. If it's just not great end boards, then you're not going to Super Poly, which is kind of unfortunate. But we also have the 1 Foolish Burial, the 1 Gold Sark, and the 1 Cop of the Grave. These are for their spell cards. They kind of all do the exact same thing other than Call of the Grave. But, we all know what these cards do. This protects your Brain Infusion. And, of course, these get you into your combo with the Tragedy and stuff like that. Then we are playing 2 traps. We're playing the Brain Infusion. And because we are playing 3 Thrust, we also are playing the 1 Fusion Duplication. This card is going to be really good when you end up seeing it. It's also a really easy side out. As long as you open it up and you can actually use it with the fusion deployment, and you end up looking for Albaz and like go for your combo that way as well during your opponent's turn. And it can throw them quite off because they don't really expect it. So it's really nice to be able to do that. Now we have the extra deck. So we are playing the double copy of Mirror Jade. You can play only one of them if you want to, because we are playing the ad libitum. I just really prefer 2 myself. I found that when I was playing the other guy's list that I ended up like needing the 2 Mirror Jade all the time, just because for my play style. Then we are playing the 2 Albion. No need to explain this one. The 1 Lubellion, same thing. The 1 Titaniclad. If you're not playing these ratios, I guess other than the Mirror Jade, then you're not playing branded correctly. We're playing the 1 Albion obviously as well, the 1 Rinbrum, the 1 Albalentis. All of these are very, very standard. We are playing against Blue Eyes quite a bit this format, so having Albalentis to be able to like send up their whole field, you guys have seen on videos before, they just do not expect it. It actually happened like twice, so it's kind of crazy. If they're anything like Magia as well, you're not really gonna have a chance to win. So being able to summon the Albaz and just like get the entire field away just is absolutely broken. And then we are playing the double copies of Granganol, the 1 copy of Quiritus. This is for your Super Poly as well as your Granganol. And we are playing the Guardian Chimera, the copy of Chaos, and the 1 copy of the Garua. So it's kind of it for the main deck. You are probably looking at this like, why are you playing Guardian Chimera and Star Source? So it's giving me off Lubellion, which is pretty nice. I could cut this if I wanted to. I just like having the option of it. It is like my 15th slot in the extra deck, which I know sounds absolutely crazy because it's absolutely busted. I'm just not the biggest fan of this card currently. So that's kind of the reason for me. But it definitely is a really good card. It's also extremely easy to make with branded in red, having Albion in the graveyard. You can actually add it back and make it, which is funny because it is an Albaz engraved, which is pretty cool. But yeah, now for the side deck, we are playing the 1 copy of the Ecclesia. And if we're playing the 1 copy of the Ecclesia, that means we're playing the triple copies of Gizmek Uka. This is for the Fiendsmith, of course. We have now 6 answers to Fiendsmith. You have the 3 Bestials in the main deck alongside the Ukas here, which summons out this, which can summon out the Albaz whenever you want to. Get away that sequence or the princess, whatever they kind of go for. Then we are playing the triple copies of Pirellia. Summoning from the hands is obviously going to be pretty nice. We want to be able to draw cards, so we're playing this. Then we are playing triple copies of Forbidden Droplets. You can put this in going first or second. Just depending on the matchup, sometimes you side out Super Poly, you throw these in, and then your day's kind of fixed. And then we have the 2 copies of Lightning Storm because we are struggling to go up against some boards, and as well as the 1 copy of Duster. And then we also are playing here the 2 copies of the extra deck cards. We're playing the Masquerade as well as the Driving Venom. This is obviously for time. And then this is for those decks, like sometimes you play some random stuff like Sprite. You play against, the Live Twin Pile that's going to be coming up pretty soon. And sometimes they can end on like some random stuff. I know like Desiree is a light, so you're probably not going to go into any of these because they are all light fiends from the extra deck, I believe. But they're gonna end on like Abao and like maybe a Chaos Angel or something like that, and you just end up like getting rid of it completely. Like other decks that just end on stuff, like they can get rid of it, as well as your things as well. You know, you normally summon out the copy of the of like Albaz, you try to activate the effect, they try chaining something to pop it, you then chain Super Poly, get rid of the Abao, and then this, or your Albaz to go for this. Like, there's a bunch of cards like in format. Obviously, we're playing Dark. I don't need to explain to you guys Dark decks. You know, it does also deal with the Malice end board just completely if they end on like some 2 monsters. But yeah, it's pretty simple. I think that this deck is pretty nice. I really do enjoy the Gizmet Uka right now. I think that this card is like absolutely good. If you're not playing this, you're probably not playing Branded correctly. Obviously, you can play some going first cards in this. There's not really any going first cards in the side deck, but like the deck is really good going first. I find like you're not really needing to go first cards. Like obviously, you could take it like Fuos, put in like droplets, and like other than that, like your day is pretty much fine. You can put in like a duster if you don't like something else. I don't think like D-Barrier is that good this format. Like, you know, it is good against certain things, but with Malice and Ryzeal still being like some of the best decks, and like other decks just being so good for link summoning, like there's no really point. You end up like hitting them with a deck. You like finding a deck, let's say for example like Memento, and you call like Fusion against them, and like they just go into the Fiends with lines that are playing it, or they set up like a link lines, and they're still able to just OTK. Same thing White Forest. Like White Forest is really good. Like, oh, you can just hit the Synchro, and then they go for access code and just kill you anyways. So I really don't think that's going to be that good this format. That's why I'm not really playing it. I think that, you know, being able to play your control cards and just like going for the grind game is going to be nicer. Obviously, that deck does change a bit when we are getting the Draco Tails. We have changed the name now in the TCG, so definitely make sure you guys do that. We're going to be probably, you know, testing that soon. So if you guys want to see some content like that, let me know in the comment section down below. Now, just stay safe. Peace.